Hey, man. All that gangsters you talking about a thuka when I see you pussy nigga don't get caught with that. All that shit you posting on the book, pussy nigga, when I see you don't wanna talk about it. These niggas be talking like the batter. Make a pussy ass nigga come up at his adder. These niggas talk shit to they hoe. Until I get hit, these fuck niggas gon' know about it. Where was you nigga when I was trapping? Where were you nigga when I broke, didn't have it? Pussy ass nigga never fronted me a pack. Now the niggas act like I owe them my ass. I was on my ass, nigga act like the hat. Niggas got mad when I started living lab. A nigga powered up, got deeper with the rap. Ran into a plug, had to start speaking Spanish. Same niggas that I grew up with, come to find out, same niggas on that fuck shit. I'm on that block, don't get fucked with. Big ol' thuka for them niggas on tough shit. Sippin' on tech at the bottom, if it ain't no more red, then I'm back on that tough shit. Bitch, we gon' trap for the look shit. These niggas say that they gon' bust, ain't gon' touch shit. These niggas want my position. These niggas wanna be me with a passion. These niggas know I was trapping. These niggas know I had dope for rap. These niggas know I'm in trap. Pussy ass niggas just wanna post stab. Oh, you wanna switch? Then let's get it crackin'. Know you a bitch and you ain't been no action. What's up? Streets turn a nigga to a savage. All I knew was mama cause I never heard of dad. But mama always gone cause mama had habits. So growing up a nigga never really heard of fame. I used to stay with my partners till their mama couldn't stand. Was staying with Lil Greg and ran the Tommy lots of green. I used to have to borrow money every day, I couldn't stand. I was taking anything a motherfucker tried to hand me. Stayed with my bitch till the whole thought she ran. I just want your purse, bitch, I don't want your payments. I was on the road kicking dough for the zine. Now I'm on the road doing shows in Miami. I'm down for the scheme, understand it. Thought he got lean, but that nigga got whammy. Used to have love for buffet. I don't know what happened, I'm not understanding. All that gangsters you talking about a thuka when I see you pussy nigga don't be caught with that. All that shit you posting on the book, pussy nigga, when I see you don't wanna talk about it. These niggas be talking like the batter. Make a pussy ass nigga come up at his adder. These niggas talk shit to they hoe. Until I get hit, these fuck niggas gon' know about it.
All right, listen here. I want to thank you personally for coming back to the Goddess Queen Tulsa show. Listen here, we are going to keep you board. And listen here, we're going to keep you after AT2. And listen here, he has some rivals out here that he was presently, friends with. Well, not presently. I want to say in the past or just recently, they all broke up. I mean, you know what? Here on these YouTube streets, you just never know how these relationships are going to go. 1 minute they're just buddy. And then the next minute, they say, oh, we're not talking. We're not talking right now. And so it confuses the audience. I believe we will be opening up the call lines tonight after we give our commentary. So let's get into it. So Back Alley Tales, uncovering the truth behind AT2's controversy. Don't miss this explosive confrontation in today's episode of Sherelle's World. What happens when blogger Sherelle dives into deeply oh my goodness, let's take this back. DJ, run that thing back. Run that thing back. We not ready. We not ready, DJ. Run that thing back.
Pussy, nigga. Hey, man. talking about a thuka when I see you, pussy nigga, don't get caught with that. All that shit you posting on the book, pussy nigga, when I see you, don't wanna talk about it. These niggas be talking like the batter. Make a pussy ass nigga come up at his adder. These niggas talk shit to they hoe. Until I get hit, these fuck niggas gon' know about it. Where was you, nigga, when I was trapping? Where were you, nigga, when I was broke, didn't have it? Pussy ass nigga never fronted me a pack. Now the niggas act like I owe them my ass. I was on my ass, nigga, act like the hat. Niggas got mad when I started living lavish. A nigga powered up, got deeper with the rap. Ran into a plug, had to start speaking Spanish. Same niggas that I grew up with, come to find out, same niggas on that fuck shit. I'm on that block, don't get fucked with. Big ol' thuka for them niggas on tough shit. Sippin' on tech at the bottom, if it ain't no more red, then I'm back on that tough shit. Bitch, we gon' trap for the luck shit. These niggas say that they gon' bust, ain't gon' touch shit. These niggas want my position. These niggas wanna be me with a passion. These niggas know I was trapping. These niggas know I had dope for rap. These niggas know I'm in traffic. Pussy ass niggas just wanna post stats. Oh, you wanna switch? Then let's get it crackin'. No, you.
All right, all right. All right, DJ, thank you for that. Let's go ahead and get into it. Don't miss this explosive confrontation in today's episode of Sherelle's World. What happens when blogger Sherelle dives into deeply personal territory, her mom's health. Since intention, Sherelle reveals that her mom isn't too happy about it, but tensions rise as we unravel the thrilling showdown with the controversial AT2, godfather of YouTube. Does a discussion of health get overshadowed by online drama? Get all the juicy details as this drama unfolds. Comment below on your thoughts. Are you Team Sherelle or Team AT2? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on those notifications for more real talk and drama. All right, so we are here this evening to really get into the shenanigans of it all. Now, listen here, Cheryl's World and AT2, they were like really good buddies. And it really shocked the community when we found out that, they were pulling back. And, you know, they've been going live, constantly, let's be honest. They've been going live and they've been talking about stories about AT2. They've had this individual on their panel deny, and I feel like he's gaslighting the situation, whether if they want to admit to it or not, whether if they want to see it or not. From the outside looking in as an audience member, I feel like it is definitely a gaslighting tactic. What other way can you make your a person that you're into it with feel a certain type of way? Well, you would go out there and get a person that person is rivaling with and have them on your panel and then promote them and act as though you guys are there for a great cause. When we talk about a great cause, I can't recount when Donat was out here doing anything for a great cause. When he was out here acting as though he was someone's friend and then turning it up on them in the next breath, I can't find it in my heart to see what good he was doing when he took a whole married man and decided to put that married man with a single woman to make content for dollars. You taken a black marriage and you ripped it apart. Whether if it was in shambles, whether if it was your point of view or not, when Jaguar Wright and her husband went down that aisle and they said I do, they took a vow between them two. It had nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do with me. We were not there. We weren't any witnesses. So my thing is you don't get in between nobody's marriage. You don't do it. We can give our opinions, but when you start to being in the middle of the vow, you didn't jump into like I said, these are vows that this couple had went down the aisle and had taken, for better or for worse, for good or for bad. And you don't know that because you're not married. And I'm just trying to figure out, why is it that this married couple is so cool with this, so cool with these activities? I'm a young woman, married for 6 years, and there's no way I would sit up here and get in between nobody's marriage. Jaguar Wright and her boyfriend Odell sent me documents to come out here and blast Annalise about her past and what she did and who she was with. At the end of the day, Annalise went down that aisle with Odell and she gave her vows. Odell had given his vows. He said, "Yes, I do." That had nothing to do with me. That is between Odell, Annalise, and the man above. I'm not interested in doing anything like that, sweetheart. I don't care what. I don't care what you thought. I really don't. I really don't care what you thought. I'm not about to get down there. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get down there in the gutter with you. I'm not going to get down there. But what I would like for you to do, we do have a commercial break. We do have the Godfather of YouTube, the King, the one, the only, AT2 in the building. We'll be right back.
Put your mouth there.
I don't understand.
You don't have to understand. What if your healing depends on you speaking into that hole? What if? What if it's just that simple? What if you don't have to hurt? What if you don't have to understand? What if you don't have to like it? What if you don't have to feel it? What if all you have to do is speak it into that hole? Would you be willing to do that? Do it.
Oh, can we get everybody to speak up into the hole? Can we get these likes up? Please hit that like. Listen here as I go ahead and navigate on over to the Instagram. AT2 said it. He sent me a nasty piece of clip. Oh, he sent me a nasty piece of clip, honey. Let me see. What is this show? Oh, child, wait a minute. Let's see what this is. My. All right, so we're just going to speed this on up a little bit. And let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and take a listen. AT2, would you like the link so you can kind of give some commentary as I go ahead and play it? Yes. Now this is interesting. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, it is. All right, give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and bring this. Let me go ahead and bring this right on up. Oh, the evidence. Oh, evidence. You know, we love some good old evidence. Give me 1 second. Let's go ahead and drop this link. Oh, y'all make sure y'all speaking into the whole, hit that like if y'all want, y'all get that cash app or whatever it is you want to do on today. However, you want to do it on today. Okay, let's get into it. Yes, because listen, they were saying that AT2 wasn't the godfather of the beef sector, and I had a problem with that. Baby, I had a problem with that. Oh, let me take a listen right quick.
No lie about this weekend, it has been crazy. And crazy for no reason. Let's be honest. And I take full accountability for.
Oh, oh, we got AT2 in the building. Oh, hold on. I don't want to melt, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Let me gather myself. Let me gather myself. Oh,
Not melting.
oh, yes. How are you, AT2?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. To tell you the truth, like, trust me, nothing phases me. It's like, okay, I'm used to taking punches and kicks, and
Oh,
yeah,
I thought you was
it's
about to
like,
say
bring it
something
on.
else. I thought you was about to say something else. Ooh, I was about to, wait until we get on the after dark. We can talk.
Tulsa, it's Sunday. I ain't talking like that tonight. Come
I
on
know
now.
that's right. Listen here, we got to get this week started. Now, listen here. There was this back alley story. I want to jump right head into, I just want to jump right head into it. You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure we wash our hands, get our Yeah. Listen, can we get into that back alley story? What are they talking about?
Back alley story?
Yeah.
No,
You
I
were in a
don't
back
know.
alley with some guy and
When?
oh, well,
What?
yes. Oh, yes. Listen, they said that you were in a back alley. Allegedly, you were in a back alley, and they were how I received it as a viewer from the outside looking in because I don't know you to, I know you go to Las Vegas and things like that, and I know you like to gamble, right? You
Uh
like to
huh.
travel and things like that. So that's something that we all know. We've seen you, and you've went live from your hotel rooms and things like that. So you've taken us on, can't say ride alongs, but you've actually taken us on a travel vlog, right?
Right, right.
So when you go there, how I was perceiving it as they were saying that you were getting into activities with other men, and that you were busting it down and busting it wide open, and you was
Mm,
spreading it low and open your cheeks
wow.
up. But listen, before you answer, I did make
Mm-hmm.
a poll. It says, "Did Sherelle's world husband bully AT2 with the back alley story?" 33% says yes, I heard Perry say it. 11% says justice for AT2. Sherelle and Perry are innocent, 0%. They're too old for this mess, says 56%. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? But before you do that,
Uh huh.
introduce yourself and we're going to drop your link in the chat.
Yes, what's up, everybody? My name is AT2. I talk about celebrity topics, trending topics, politics. I do it all. And currently, right now, I'm engulfed in some kind of fake made up beef. And, I can't tell too much detail about it, but, I just wanted to give Tulsa that evidence that I had. So, honestly, to tell you the truth, and I say this in the video, you played a little bit of it, but I said, I kind of it was fun while it lasted, but I kind of regret that it lasted this long because this is the proof that squashes everything. And then after tonight, it should be no more, at least for me, because right now it just seems like they're just trying to make accusations, but there's no proof.
Right. Well, I want to ask you this, and this is like coming from the heart. Um, how are you mentally? I mean, because I take mental health very seriously.
Hmm.
And I know we come on here, we give our commentary, and people meet our personas that we have on here. However, but when we log off of here, we do have real lives. So I genuinely, and me and the Butterfly Lounge, want to know how are you feeling and where are you mentally? And before we answer that, Stephanie Collins says, "Can I hit the link? Would you mind if we had guests up here to maybe sound off and support you at this time?"
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Stephanie can click the link.
All right. While we wait for Stephanie to hit that link, let's go ahead and have Ms. Whitney Houston thank us all. Please make sure you like that button. We'll be right back. Thank you all so much for supporting Queen Tulsa, the show, whether it's a like, a share, a subscribe, a Cash App, a PayPal, or a Zelle. Thank you for coming by and watching the show. And this is your commercial for being acknowledged for just being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you, who would be watching? Thank you for tuning in. All right, listen here. We got the one, the only Stephanie in the back. Listen here, before we add her up, listen here. We want to welcome all of our guests and with a fabulous, how you doing? Welcome to the stage, Stephanie.
Hey, Queen Tulsa. Hey, cuz. Hey,
What's up,
listen, shout out
cuz?
to Oklahoma. Shout out to Tulsa.
Period. Shout out to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and shout out to all of our viewers. And thank you so much for supporting this show. You've
Of
this is
course.
your fifth super chat, and we want to definitely thank you from me, myself, the Royals, and shout out to AT2, the Godfather of YouTube, because
That's right.
he's really got us all here together, pulling us all together. What are,
That's right. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I said, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so this is exactly what I'm talking about. That, they are, it's like a, it's like I'm gone through the looking glass because it's like everything that they're saying that we did, we're watching them do in real time. The slander, the lies, the say that we've said things about them. They're gonna get my bar card, they're gonna sue us, but yet they're sitting here talking about cuz in a back alley. That's a factual statement that they know is not true. That is categorically slander. And
Right.
so, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? I don't even know. Like, this whole thing started, and it boggles my mind because nobody ever said anything. Nobody said anything about her mama. Nobody.
But
Nobody.
I want to just say something about the back alley. Like, even if I was in the back alley, okay.
Well, hold on. Let's do a correction right here because AT2, I love you, but we're gonna be fair. AT2 did, said F your mom and this, that, and the third. However, he didn't come out here and say, oh, this is your mother's medical history. It wasn't like HIPAA was exposed. I just feel like there was a back and forth. And they've said not so nice things about AT2, and AT2 said not so things about them. So there was back and forth banter, but it was no violation of no HIPAA. I didn't hear AT2 come out here and display that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, Tulsa, now that you mention that, because I'm happy that you did mention it, because they're under this assumption that I said this and that. Can you go ahead and play the evidence so we can just end this right now?
Absolutely. The evidence is coming right on up.
For all the craziness. Was it entertaining? Yes. But is it too much? Of course. Hey, you guys, no lie about this weekend. It has been crazy and crazy for no reason. Let's be honest. And I take full accountability for all the craziness. Was it entertaining? Yes. But is it too much? Of course. So let me just go ahead and play the evidence for you guys so we can go ahead and nip this in the butt. I mean, it's already nipped for me, but here you go. Here's the full context.
Juice, shout out to Juice, shout out to Nadi, and shout out to Katorbe. Those people I'm very close with. And then there's a few others that I keep close to the vessel. Somebody that you see like I hang out with, and I haven't hung out with her in a long time, was Gigi Darling from the beat sector. I love Gigi. Somebody else who I'll be haven't hung out with, but I'll be hanging out in the next year is Uncle Timothy Blaine. Timothy Blaine invited me over to his place. He was like, hey, T2, you can come over. We can do a video, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, that'd be cool. I would love to do that. So Timothy Blaine is cool. We're not close, but he's cool. But other than that, like, I'm really protecting my energy now when it comes to a lot of these people. And I think it's best that way. And I don't know, and a lot of people say, oh, Jag has everybody fighting each other. No, y'all. No, stop blaming her. These people weren't shit before she ever came into the picture. They was born not shit. They mamas wasn't shit. They daddies wasn't shit. They grandmas wasn't shit. The grandpa wasn't shit. The kids ain't shit because they done had them. The grandchildren ain't shit. The great-great-grandchildren ain't shit. The great-great-great-great-great-grand. They come from a long lineage of people who ain't shit. It has nothing to do with Jaguar Wright. They were just never shit. I don't know how else I can tell you guys. That's how I honestly feel. They come from a long lineage and you heard generational wealth? Generational ain't shit. Like, that's what they have. A generation of shit. Thank you, Ron. I'm preaching today. Hallelujah. A generation of shit. And I think it's okay to say that.
This video was posted on December 27, 2024. So just a few months ago. As you see, I said all the Jaguar Wright content creators. Now, someone did say, well, AT2, that includes you too then, right? Well, maybe my parents ain't shit. But again, I said this to everyone, not just a particular person. So do me a huge favor. Share this video all over YouTube. Share it with your friends. Share it with your families. This is what AT2 said. All right? Okay, no more confusion. Here we go.
And I do want to say also, because I saw the video, I've seen the whole video. He never named them in that video before he said that or after. That was just a general comment about the whole sector. And so I don't know, it's like the old saying, a hit dog will holler, a hit pig will squeal. And if they took that to be them, why? Why is that? Yeah, I don't understand how they came to the conclusion that it was specific to them and particularly V. Miss V. Sorry, Miss V.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And our, you know, we send our condolences and we send our prayers over to that family. I've never just involved that woman, but being that, I've seen her in panels and things like that, we just send the best. We're not here to talk about her. What I want to talk about is,
Absolutely. No,
right,
we're praying for
we're talking
her. Absolutely.
uh, we're talking about the content creators, and what I don't understand is if you do have a loved one that needs care and things like that. This is for me. I'm going to speak for me. I would not be online going back and forth with a YouTuber about anything if my loved one was over there on their bed about to FaceTime Jesus, and that is no
And
shade.
God forbid, God forbid. Like we're praying for her, and hopefully it's, But yes, I mean, if I would think your relatives would come first, but that's not my business. But I want to be very adamant that that was never the intent or any sort of thought or even specifically said. I don't know how they came to that conclusion. It boggles my mind.
So Tulsa, were you offended by the video?
I was not offended by the video. I mean, for one, AT2, you're a content creator, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are in a variety of sectors. You're in the beef sector, you're in this sector, you're in that sector. Nobody gets to tell you where you can and can't go. Nobody tells you how to respond when somebody comes at you with accusations. And then you have an individual, in my opinion, on a panel that's gaslighting the situation. I feel like denied by him being on that panel and y'all are not cool. Maybe, y'all met or whatever the case may be. He's saying that, you had two drinks and then you
Tulsa, stop
exposed.
being messy.
No, this is what's out
Okay.
there. Y'all met, you had two drinks, and then you opened up and said that you were SA as a child. Trigger warning. Did that conversation happen between you and Denai?
It didn't happen like that. No.
So it
A
did
conversation
happen,
was
but
had. Yes.
okay. So let
But
me ask
again,
you.
Tulsa, I want to be clear.
Okay.
What does that have to do with anybody's mama, though?
That's what I'm saying. When you have someone, you're feuding with, these are like you've known them longer than you known this gentleman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with you knowing them and how they supported you, you don't think that people on the outside were looking because they bragged about supporting you and helping you and things like this. That's why it's like, okay, well,
Oh, I
you
got
get
you.
what I'm
I got
saying?
you.
They've
Yeah.
supported you over the years, and then for somebody to come around that's new, oh, these people like the support. Oh, they got a big platform. Oh, I can get in this way or do, like whatever,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And so if I can become friends with you and you move, get close to somebody else and eventually move your ass out the way, then hey, it's my playing grounds
Mm-hmm.
and it's my narrative. And this is how I'm gonna run it. Because I don't like you. And I've just got right in the spot that you were sitting in. I just took your spot. I moved you out the way.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to go here for a second because I am passionate about this. And remember, I did a reading and I told you to leave him alone.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we today?
Oh well, I mean, today, that person is definitely left alone. Yeah, we don't have any. The only communication is through via video or via YouTube. Let me say via YouTube, not video.
Mhm. Stephanie, you've been pulled in. You have been on the chopping block. Your license are up for being snatched.
No, they
You know
ain't.
what I'm saying?
No, they ain't. No, they ain't. No, listen. These aren't the first time a YouTuber told me they was going to get my license. It won't be the last. But I've never seen even a complaint. Nobody even goes and actually files the damn pay. Like, all you got to do is fill out the form the state bar provides. It ain't hard, but nobody's even taken that first step. So no, my license ain't. And even if they did, the state bar of Texas is not interested in what I do on YouTube for real. Like, unless I am giving legal advice in some way to people who aren't clients, and it's got to be specific legal advice to people who I don't have an attorney-client relationship with, or I'm disclosing privileged information on YouTube. Otherwise, the state bar, it's explicit that the complaints you file about a lawyer have to pertain to their professional doings, and none of this does. So, go ahead and file the complaint. Please do. Please do. I'm bored. I need something to do. Please stop file the complaint. It's past my birthday. My birthday was 10 days ago, but I didn't even get a complaint for my birthday. But, before the spring is over, somebody send me a complaint because I'd love to respond to one. Like the title, like my bar or whatever that is, my banner on my beneath my name says, "Let's get this lawsuit cracking. Have your lawyer call me. Yeah, I'll waive service so we can get this going." I got this is an intimidation tactic. They unfortunately creators use this sometimes because they don't understand the law. I have not, and neither has AT2 done anything that could be an actionable claim. Unfortunately, they have, but I don't think Cuz is interested in suing them, but they have, and so we can do this, but I don't think. I know people say they got lawyers on staff, they got lawyers on the phone. I don't think a lawyer would want to go down this road because it's silly. It's not a lawsuit. It's not the basis of an actual viable lawsuit.
Well, listen here. You heard it here first. And listen here, Stephanie. Now, you are a licensed attorney and you're just here on YouTube like anybody else. I mean,
That's right.
is there a law that prohibits a lawyer from being on YouTube and watching YouTube's or maybe
Nope.
jumping on a link?
Nope.
I'm
Not at
trying to see
all.
where the crime is.
Not at all. No, and in fact, the bar form that you have to fill out, because you have to submit the complaint in writing, and the bar gives people a form. I don't think you actually have to use the form, but it's kind of suggested that you do. They provide that to sort of guide you in writing your complaint, give them all the information they need, et cetera, et cetera. It says in big letters across the top, your complaint must pertain to the professional actions of the lawyer on which whom you wish to complain about. And that's just this is not my professional. This is not professional activity. All the rules of disciplinary conduct, they all pertain to professional actions, things that you do as an attorney. And so, I none of this is actually part of my career. I've not done anything like I've not done anything in the way of legal. I've not performed in a legal capacity in any of this. Does that make sense?
And Stephanie, not to cut you off, but I am not. You're not my lawyer.
No,
We
I'm
don't
not
even
even
live in the
licensed in
same state.
California. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not a AT2's attorney. I don't represent him in any capacity because I'm not licensed in California. Now, if somehow the action touched Texas, then I could get involved, but I don't see how that could even happen, especially not in this case when the residents are of Nevada, and then he's in California. There's no way I could even be involved. If they sue me, I can represent myself. Anybody can, but I can't represent Cuz.
Right.
Now, let me ask you this. AT2, has this affected your mental health? Has it affected, your life in any kind of way? Do you feel like you're in danger? Because, from listening to them, they are some heavy hitters. And, with everything going on in this climate, and kind of, I've been doing some research and looking at their past behavior, calling the police to a black man's house, in a climate like this. I mean, I don't think that it's ever cool unless it's somebody actually committed a crime. Do you feel like you committed a crime?
No, I didn't commit a crime, but what you call it? One of the individuals mentioned coming to my house and then also making threats. So on Monday, before I leave for my trip that I'm taking, I will be handling that situation and seeing what I can do about that.
Yeah, well, you can always, when you do meet the police, just because they're gonna try to get information on you, I would meet them at like a gas station or something because they're trying to get your address. Just a heads up.
Mm. You know what? I just thought about that too because I have to give them my. Which here's my thing. I honestly don't mind whatever you feel like you got to do. You got to do. However, um, I would warn against that. But secondly, at this point, it's all like I have to protect myself legally. I have to do it the right way. When somebody is making threats to your life like that, and anything, even you just saying I'm gonna come to your house, oh, I have to take that seriously.
Yeah, do you not see these articles and news? I mean, you see this stuff happening on social media. People are showing up to people's houses to have a viral moment. I mean, we don't know who's watching and who's being influenced by that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
yes, take that seriously. And like I said, I would just meet, I mean, even if you have to go down to the police station and make it there, you know,
Hmm.
and just let
Yeah,
them
because
know. I mean, this is a
definitely,
serious situation.
and let me just say this: if I have to give my address, that's just something that I'll have to do.
Do you have a PO box?
No.
Invest into a PO box before you do it.
Can you do a PO box as a
I mean, you can.
um?
Yeah, you got. This is where I get my mail. Yeah,
No, to do a report.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you can give them your PO box. Yeah,
Well, if I could step in, so typically, when the police respond to a call, they do write a report, and if someone is prosecuted because of that report, the the report should be released to the lawyer, but the lawyer typically, if they're conducting it themselves in an ethical way, they would not hand that report to the person accused in a way that which would provide the address, right? Because of these kind of situations, the danger that might arise from that. If there was no prosecution, right? Then and the person who was the subject of that report requested a copy of that report, he would be given it in a redacted fashion, so the address would be redacted.
Hmm.
Okay, great. Yeah, because we want to protect you. Like I said, being influencers and just seeing the influencer crimes. I mean, there was this influencer that pew pewed his girlfriend in the head, and they're back together. So I don't trust anybody. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Hmm.
we see this stuff on the internet, but it hits different when it hits home. When it hits yours. You know what I'm saying? And then the doxing and then the calling the family members and doing all that. Why are you calling people that are not involved? They don't have a channel. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Mona says, AT2, you can give them my address. I'll be waiting. LOL.
Thank you, Mona.
Shout out to Mona. No, so listen, AT2, I mean, what message do you want to get out there? I mean, this is a lot. All these rumors going around about you. They're trying to say that there is CP. They're trying to say these disturbing things. What do you say to them? Look into that camera if they're because they're watching. I want you to look into that camera, and Stephanie, I want you to be here with us. Look into that camera and let them know that you are not scared. You're going to be standing up. You're going to take action, and you will not be bullied. Sound off.
Yeah, thank you, Tulsa. Well, this is the message that I want to convey to anybody listening right now. To tell you the truth, I'm not shocked by what's going on. However, it couldn't happen to anybody else strong as me. Luckily for me, I have a backbone. Luckily for me, I can stand on my own 2 feet. Not a lot of people can do that. And I feel that there's been this fear of like, oh my God, I don't want to be attacked or I'm scared. And no, at this time, ain't nobody scared. Ain't nobody worried. When you literally put out the truth, and like I said, I'm happy that Tulsa, you did play the audio to the video that shows, like, oh, this is what was said. Now, if there's any evidence in not something doctored, I would love to see it, but I think everything that has been shown is either something out of context or is some audio that's been chopped up and not the full context. I played you the full context. So at this time, what is there more to say?
Oh, I just want you to have a peace of mind, and I want you to be able to do your content the way that you've been doing your content.
Thank you.
And if they just want to, let bygones be bygones, just go on. But they were saying, oh, because you removed some videos, that she's not going to stop and that she's going to take this to court and that she is going to sue you. She's going to make sure that you um, can't buy a car, can't buy a house unless you pay her. What are your thoughts to that?
I don't think I should be responding to it, so.
Right. Okay. Well, listen here. Thank you for
I'll
coming by.
respond to it if
Oh,
you don't mind,
yeah.
Queen Tulsa. I'll respond to it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's not going to happen. You know, yeah, I can't even imagine the day. I can't even think of the world in which this would happen. You know, all the infinite universes that exist out there, the multiverse, there's not a multiverse. There's not a single universe in which that would happen. It's yeah, next to impossible that she would be able to get a judgment on something like this. It's just the lawsuit's just not going to be viable. There's no actionable conduct here, and also let's put the record out there. Let's make sure we're clear. Let's be clear.
Let's
She's
be
already
clear.
threatened to sue Cuz one time. She's already threatened to sue Cuz before, and she didn't do it. So what are we doing?
Right. We playing YouTube games. That's what it is. But anyway, you guys, I love you, cuz. Thank you. Thank you, Queen Tulsa. I appreciate you. Y'all have a good one.
Yes.
Thank you.
Listen,
I
Thank you,
appreciate
Queen
it.
Tulsa. I'm gonna drop down too. Thank you, Queen Tulsa. Shout out to Oklahoma.
listen, I love you. I appreciate you. And thank you for coming by. Please come by at any given time. I will be running some cases doing true crime. And if you ever want to just drop
Cool.
out the bushes, please,
Yeah.
I would love to hear a perspective from a respective attorney. And thank you for serving and
Huh.
standing up for what's right. Seriously.
Yeah. Well, that is part of my duty as an attorney, is to at least I think so. Is when people are using the legal system to try to silence and and intimidate people, then I think that is part of what attorneys should do in their off time, is to make sure that people can stand on business and not be intimidated by false narratives about how people using the legal system in ways that they are not going to. They're not going to prevail. So just it's a really sick kind of abuse of what false information people put out there about what the courts can and can't do. Don't be scared. Just don't be scared of that shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Absolutely.
I would recommend, if you can do any true crime about stuff in Oklahoma, like any cases in Oklahoma, that would be great, because I don't think people touch on that. But a lot of stuff goes down in Oklahoma. People don't even know. So I think you
Yes.
should cover something. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you. And one thing I can say is having somebody really come out here. I want to ask you this. Have you ever dealt with a case where the cyberbullying, have you ever dealt with a cyberbullying case?
Okay. So that is sort of a term that people have kind of glommed onto, that is really doesn't quite exist in the criminal system. right? Bullying, for as distasteful and unpleasant as it is, it's not typically criminalized, right? Now, harassment is, so if it crosses the line into specific types of harassment that are named in a criminal code, typically on the state level, then sure. But you're not going to look through a penal code for any given state and find a crime of cyberbullying. It doesn't exist yet. It would be very, very hard to define. It's a very vague term, and so in our system, especially since we have an amendment, a constitutional amendment, most countries do not have that. That the First Amendment guarantees our right to free speech. To criminalize actions on the internet, as much as we don't like them, we don't encourage them, we discourage cyberbullying and all these things. However you define that, the First Amendment trumps a lot of things that people would think are criminalized, right? Because the courts hardly ever carve out an exception to the First Amendment. It's very few and far between. Now, harassment is one because it's not considered speech, right? It's considered actions that are not. There's a sort of differentiation they make between speech and forms of what you might be considered speech, but are the courts don't consider speech, like some types of sexual material, things like that. So they're not considered speech. So you don't actually have a First Amendment protection. Harassment kind of falls into that category, but that it's always enumerated, right? It's always very specifically defined. And courts have even like gone back and forth on if something is harassment. That's it's commonly challenged when someone is convicted of harassment because that First Amendment element is always there. So that's kind of the thing that people like to throw that out there. Cyberbullying and harassment. I'm going to take you to court. I'm going to get you arrested. Yada yada yada. That's not that's not really the reality of the situation. Again, I'm not advocating that people harass or cyberbully or, talk negative about people. Exactly. But it's not criminal. There's a difference between distasteful behavior and things that are actually criminalized.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. The reason why I asked that question is because um, the particular content creator said, "Oh, if you put my name in a title and this, that, and the third, I'm coming after you. And then, oh, I'm going to add you to the lawsuit and this, that, and the third." Is that a form of I mean, does that sound like a form of bullying? Like you're bullying me into not do what most content creators do?
Well, and that's kind of I've thought about that a lot because that is commonly, that's commonly said on YouTube, right? Like if you do this, I'm going to sue you, and it's not something that you can actually be sued for. Um, I think there are times it would be very specific, and I'm not sure that this is one, but there could be times when that crosses over into witness intimidation. Because typically witness intimidation, the witness that term is very broad. And a lot of people are considered witnesses when there's a lawsuit or a criminal case going on. And so, when people, especially when people cross over into make me a settlement right now and I won't sue you, especially over things where the lawsuit isn't likely to prevail, that could get really sticky. Just saying I'm going to sue you if you put my name in the title, I'm not sure that that's actually, going to be a real, viable civil claim. But if you start saying stuff like it could cross over into extortion and witness intimidation if you really start going hard on it. So I would recommend it.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. So when it comes to celebrities, okay, I might give my commentary on celebrities. We're putting their names, we're putting their photos. Do you think that if it was such a crime that celebrities would start suing content creators for putting their names and photos up?
Yeah, yeah, and I think if something like that was to start happening in the United States, if that was to start being a uh, I guess a common way that or a common lawsuit people were bringing in courts, we would know about that because that would be one of the biggest. exceptions to the First Amendment that we would have in this country, I think it would be almost the same as when like Roe v. Wade got overturned or like a major case. Like we would all know it because it would be a radical shift in American legal jurisprudence. You know, because I mean, our First Amendment rights in this country is so strong because it's not legislative; it's constitutional, which means it would have to. The courts are very careful about making exceptions, and that would be a radical departure. Yeah, there are times when it crosses over into privacy violations, but simply talking about them, especially if it's like you're not breaking the news, you're not breaking the story, you're just covering the story. Yeah, that's not actionable.
Okay, okay. Now, let me ask you this as a content creator and those that may be watching as content creators, what advice would you give us to be in the clear of not breaking any laws? Just a general, not really giving us advice, but just a general kind of statement of what, we should kind of steer away from.
So I think the biggest thing you'd have to worry about is slander or libel. Libel is print, slander is said. Um, but even slander is those suits are hard to win because it takes very specific um, actions to satisfy. The plaintiff has to show very specific things before they can win, right? It has to be a factual statement. It has to be put out there as the truth, not an opinion, right? And it has to do harm to the individual has been spoken on. Unless it's per se slander, which is very a few things like a major disease, something that could ruin their business, and then like stuff that has to do with adultery, right? Traditionally, those have been the things that you don't have to show it did any harm because it's per se so terrible that it would hurt anyone, right? I think that's kind of how Cardi B was able to prevail over Tasha K because Tasha K kind of got into the realm of adultery. But then it turned out it was all true, and so that's a whole other story. But I just I think like let's talk Tasha K like as an example. I think where Tasha K went wrong is I don't think she should have lost that suit, but I think where she did go wrong was that she was covering things that nobody else was covering. She had a specific source. She didn't vet the source very well, so she put out things as fact that were harmful that Cardi B was able to show were not true, right? And so she said a bunch of things that were like she said them as statements of fact. And so you don't want to do that unless you know it's true. And so I would always recommend, don't break the news, just cover the news, right? Because if you're not the only person reporting it, you're likely not going to be singled out for a lawsuit.
That's going to be my new slogan. I don't break the news. I'm just covering it.
That's
Okay.
right, right. Exactly. Exactly. I think that's kind of where she went wrong because she had like a private, specific source. She had a source that nobody else
Inside
had.
source. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She had inside voice. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, you're going to be okay. Most things that people do in the normal course of business on YouTube is not actionable.
Okay.
Unless you're really like hurting people. Like, I wouldn't recommend going to anybody's house. That could be threatening conduct. That could be harassment. I don't recommend slandering anyone. That could be the basis of a lawsuit. But the back and forth that people do, even heavy beef, it's not typically actionable.
All right. Well, listen here. We got Stephanie coming through with the law and okay, laying the law down. Listen here. We love a good educated ally in the community. And if you are in the Texas area, we're going to set up an interview. Let me go ahead and put my information in the back where we can
Okay.
have you come on and, even the Texans and the things that are going on down there. I have some
Oh
friends.
man,
Hmm.
it's so crazy down here right now. Oh, I thought it was bad, and then it just got worse. So yeah, yeah, it's wild. I've never seen anything like this, honestly. So, but thank you. I really appreciate you having me up. I'm gonna get your information here.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I want to teach people the basic laws. I mean, we got to start from the basics. If people know their
Yeah,
basic laws, then okay, then they can get comfortable with, when it's time to go out, when it's time to vote, when it's time to see who's for, that position, they'll have you know, some type of guide. And,
yeah,
this way for us to give back to the community is charity. And, we're just doing the Lord's work. We want everybody to succeed and win in life. Am I right?
that's right. And I love seeing that 405 area code that reminds me of home. Shout out to Oklahoma
Yes.
County, Northeast Oklahoma County. Yes,
Shout out to OKC.
that's right. That's right. That's right. I'm
Yeah,
from Jones, Oklahoma. Born to lose, basically. Only the strongest survive. Jones, Oklahoma. Let me tell you. So, but
baby.
shout out to Oklahoma, baby.
Shout out to you. Shout out to Texas. And go ahead and get my information in the back and let's
Yeah,
go
I
ahead and get
did.
this.
Yeah.
All
Okay. Thank
right.
you, Queen. I appreciate you.
All right. Have a wonderful evening on
You
purpose.
too.
Okay. All right, you all. So listen here. We had an awesome show. We got down to the bottom of it. You know what I'm saying? Listen here. We are here to give you all a safe space to come through and express yourselves. Okay. Now, listen here. Speaking of expressing yourselves, we're going to go on a quick commercial break. We'll be right back and then we'll end the show.
Right over that hole. Put your mouth there.
I don't understand.
You don't have to understand. What if your healing depends on you speaking into that hole? What if? What if it's just
All right, so you all, I want to come through and let you all know that I really, really, really appreciate you all coming through for the show tonight. We had AT2 pop through, we had Stephanie pop through. Make sure you all check out their channels. They are amazing content creators. Listen here, you can learn a lot from them. And also, um, make sure you are learning, make sure you are teaching yourself, make sure you are forever elevating, okay? And always remember, put God first, put no trust in man, because everybody ain't your friend. On that note, this concludes our broadcast. And shout out to Norris Tony. Shout out to Ron P. Shout out to our Royal Detail. They kept the show in motion, kept us, giving you guys warm welcomes and all of the things. And listen here, as I grow, we grow as a family. On that note, I'm your host, Queen Tulsa. This concludes our broadcast. We're going to listen to some music and then we'll drop you off in Queen City. So long.
If I ain't your partner.
Why the fuck these niggas wanna go against the grain? Yeah. Why the fuck these niggas wanna drag a nigga name? True story. I know some niggas who hurt me, they hurt me. A couple bitches who hurt me, they hurt me. The jury don't want me to make it. The DA, I know that he working. Oh, he working. Prosecutors wanna help me. What? I'm hoping they don't do me dirty. It's 40, I got the bitch dirty. Shoot on go, he shoot perfect.
I keep 100 on me. After what they done to bleed. The same ones who put them to sleep. We all used to be in the G. How could you do me so dirty? How could you wait till I leave? It's like you was hating on her. So now you gon' die up and breathe. I got accused of some murders and bodies, so I did some time in the pen. Trust no motherfucking body again. Niggas ain't solid, nigga. Shit got fucked up. Nigga got fucked up. Now my baby mom on the stand raising her motherfucking head.
Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your partner. Everybody ain't no real nigga. If I say I got you, I got you. When it's fucked up and get fucked up, just hold it down and keep it solid. And when you're not around, I protect your name. I won't let a nigga talk about you. Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your partner. Everybody ain't no real real nigga. If I say I got you, I got you. When it's fucked up and get fucked up, just hold it down and keep it silent. And when you're not around, I protect your name. I won't let a nigga talk about you. I would've killed for you niggas. Now I can't deal with you niggas. Talking to the Grim Reaper, finna get rid of you niggas. So sick of these niggas, claiming they hitters and killers. They not showing out for them bitches, flexing on Instagram. You a dog with it on my life, on my mama, we gon' be straight. My partner looked me in my face before I took that case. And what he do? Then a nigga turn state, other homie turn slave. But I can't be real with these niggas. How could they do me that way? I was broke in a bitch, oh, I'm hustling, I'm on my grind, yeah. Work my way up to a quarter pound, selling dime bags. I spent $250 for the shit. It's on the crook, I'm hitting leaks. My nigga hit me for some tips. Shouldn't have showed him where it is. Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your partner. Everybody ain't no real nigga. If I say I got you, I got you. When it's fucked up and get fucked up, just hold it down and keep it silent. And when you're not around, I protect your name. I won't let a nigga